and welcome to Let's Talk Parenting. I'm Veronica Kasenga Fruitful. Really happy that you are watching this. Today I'm continuing on the conversation of self-esteem. Now in part one, I shared with us 3 things that leads a child to develop low self-esteem. Watch it if you haven't so you can know what to look out for. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then please do so. What are you waiting for? Please share this video with as many people as you possibly can, and also press like if you like the message and leave me a comment. I look forward to reading those. Let's remind ourselves, self-esteem is the way that we see ourselves on the inside. So, the opinion that we have of ourselves, of our value and our worth. When we look into the mirror, what we see affects the way that we perform even on the outside. No parent, if they were to ask, do you want your child to succeed or fail? No parent would say, well, it's all right, they can fail, that's all right. No parent would say that. So each of us, we want our children to do well. In order for them to do well, we need to help them to build their self-esteem. So self-esteem is a key characteristic that young people or children need to develop. Let me share with you some of the benefits of having a positive self-image. So, based on some research, children who had really good self-esteem, they valued themselves. Children who have high self-esteem also have confidence. They are willing to try things that are challenging. They are even okay with failing at some tasks. They perform so much better academically. And they also have the confidence to say no to things that they believe is not right. And that comes from the values, the things that we, the parent, teach them. Based on that, I think it's fair to say that self-esteem is quite an important characteristic that we need to build. So I want to share with us 5 things that we can do, simple things that we can do to help build self-esteem in our children. Some of them we are actually already doing. So the first one is Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. Now, who was Abraham Maslow? Well, he was a psychologist that came up with a theory that told us what are the things that we need in order to feel satisfied, to feel fulfilled, to feel actualized. And in his theory, at the bottom, as you can see, it says physiological needs. So these are the basic needs that every human being needs. So things like food, shelter, clothing. Every child needs to have this met in order to begin to even feel good. The second one is safety and security. Every child needs to feel safe and needs to feel secure. And what that looks like is that they need to be in an environment where they feel like they're not scared. They feel okay. So when a child comes home, they need to know that this is the place where I can be myself. This is the place where I'm accepted. And they don't have to be afraid that they're going to get shouted out or be afraid of what's going to happen or what they're going to find. So that's safety and security. The third one on the hierarchy is the love and belonging. Maslow believed that children need to feel loved. They need to feel like they belong. So what that looks like is basically living in an environment where you feel accepted as yourself. You joke around. They feel like they are wanted. There are some homes you go to where children are always in the bedroom. That's where they basically live. I remember when I was growing up, there was this thing, I don't know why, but there was this thing like where the parents had their own living room and the children had their own, or they stayed in a bedroom, and it was like that's for the adults and children, they stay at somewhere else. So not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's really important for a child to feel like they live in a home where they feel safe and they feel like they belong there. And the fourth one is self-esteem, which is what we're talking about today. I'm sharing tips on how we can build this one. And then finally, on the hierarchy is self-actualization. He believed that once all of these needs are met, then a child can begin to feel fulfilled and satisfied. His work was so important that it's used across different fields. It's used in psychology, it's used in business, it's used in sports, because of just how much it helps us to think about what is it that is important in order for a person to feel fulfilled. The second way that we can help to build self-esteem in our children is by being more compassionate towards them. Now, I know that sounds very simple, but often we are more compassionate towards other people and other kids than we are with our own. And one of the reasons for that is because of anger. I was recently sharing with a sister of mine how I used to have an anger problem. And I'm telling you, this anger problem, I tried so many different things. Some of the things that I even recommend to parents, I tried them and they didn't work for me. I had to pray, and I mean seriously pray for God to set me free from this anger issue. Thank God it's all done with now. But anger is one of the reasons why we struggle to be compassionate towards other people. So if there's something that you struggle with, I am definitely recommending get some help. There are so many resources out there now that can help us, to deal with anger. But we need to remember that when we show compassion to our children, it teaches them to also be compassionate towards themselves. They learn to be compassionate towards their own mistake, and they learn to be compassionate towards other people. I believe it's Colossians 3:13 in the Bible. It says that we need to remember to be understanding towards other people, show grievance towards those who make mistakes towards us, to forgive them the way that Christ also forgives us. Now, let's remember, we are always making mistakes before God, and He's always showing us mercy. So let's be merciful in the same way towards our children. The third way that we can help to build their self-esteem is to point out what they are doing right more than we point out what they're doing wrong. Please watch one of my videos titled, How Do You See Your Child? Because I talk a bit more about that in that video. Now, the fourth way is for us to teach our children to be grateful, teaching them gratitude. Gratitude is one of the secret ingredients to a successful mindset. And the earlier we start teaching our children to be grateful, the better it is for them, because gratitude actually scientifically has been proven to make you feel good. And when you feel good about yourself, you respond in a much better way. Now, there is one good way that you can help your child to begin to show gratitude, and it's using the 3 W's. What went well? Every single day, ask your child, what went well for you today? Just ask them that. And when they tell you, you also do the same with them. That way they can begin to learn to look at life from a good perspective rather than always focusing on the negative. And finally, the 5th way is to build your own self-esteem. Children learn best based on what they see than what we tell them. So when they see you having that positive self-esteem, you are reflecting it on them to also do the same thing. So I'm recommending do the following 3 things to help build self-esteem in your children. Number 1 is to say hello, to say good morning, to say good night to your children. Number 2 is to smile at your children every day. And number 3 is to tell yourself how much you love you. Yes, tell yourself how much you love you, how much you admire yourself. Be your own cheerleader, because when you do this, then it tells them that it's absolutely normal to love yourself, to accept yourself, to be your own cheerleader, and it will reflect on them. Well, like I said, thank you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for an announcement. Hey parents and carers, thank you so much for watching this week's video. I appreciate you so much, and thank you to those of you that have already subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, then please do so right now by just pressing the subscription button. It only takes 2 seconds to do. More importantly, please share my video with as many people as you possibly can. Why am I asking this? Because although you may not need this information on a weekly basis, somebody out there definitely does. Did you know that in the UK, in England alone, there are over 52,000 children who are on a child protection registrar? Now, a child protection registrar is where children who have experienced some kind of abuse with their carer, so whoever was taking care of them, if they've experienced some form of abuse, then they go on this protection. Now, parenting is not easy, and I'm grateful that we have a system that protects our children. But let's face it, children belong with their family. They need to be taken care by their family, but it's not always easy. It can be hard sometimes. What if a parent needs help, but maybe they're too shy or scared to ask for help? This YouTube channel gives us information that can help us with our role as parent, help us to succeed, help us to do a much better job. So by you sharing this video, you are helping me to reach as many homes as I possibly can. Alone, I cannot reduce abuse, but together, I know we can help more children live a much happier life. So subscribe to the channel, just share this video, even with just one person. Share the video so that we can reach as many people as we possibly can together. Thank you. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you next time. Bonjour. Mbote na biso nyonso. Weskizenga lingala français. Sometime elimwaka. Je m'appelle Véronica. Naza vraiment contente na bino nyonso oyo bozali kolanda émission nanga Let's Talk Parenting na YouTube. Nalinga na pesa bino merci. Surtout na ba oyo basi ba subscribe na chaîne nanga. En tout cas merci nzamba pambola bino. Nzamba kusunga toko salango maybe even in Lingala, French one day. Pour le moment c'est en anglais, mais tu vas en Angleterre. Je sais que bozo yoka quand même moi makamundambo nazali ko partager na biso. Nalinga ki juste na senga biso ba oyo nanu bo subscribe te. S'il te plaît bo edenga bo subscribe to my YouTube channel parce que naza vraiment na posa ya ko reach pour informer ba parents et belé ko pesa biso d'information et ko aider biso na rôle na biso ya kozala parents kozala moboti. Ce n'est pas facile, surtout en Angleterre. Ce n'est pas facile de faire moboti. Alors, on a partagé l'information au écouter ko aider biso. Et on a senga biso bo edenga. Go subscribe to my channel. Press subscribe and share the video. Partagez vidéo oyo na mutu nyonso oyo yebi surtout so kaza parents partagez ba vidéo oyo parce que okoki ko aider quelqu'un oyo aza na situation ou aza besoin d'information mais azo ko banga ko senga mutu ba aider. Alors so kataline vidéo na YouTube okoki peut-être ko aider. So merci na ba oyo déjà ba subscribe. So qui na no subscribe te s'il te plaît subscribe and share the video with as many people as you can. Merci beaucoup. Que Dieu vous bénisse. Au revoir.